Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, Justified Disqualification, and today we have Ashita no Joe, episode 31. So, things last episode, very interesting. Joe and Nishi both taking their pro test to get their boxing license. Joe performed horribly. First of all, he completely flunked the written portion of the exam, getting all three questions wrong. They were very easy, basic questions to basically establish, the rules and conditions so that this person that they're going to give the license for is not going to be, a thug, an idiot in the ring, get themselves or other people injured, is going to conduct themselves with honor and discipline, that sort of thing. And Joe completely screwed up that part of it. Nishi did fine. I'm pretty sure he got all three questions correct because, he was telling Joe afterward what the answers were. And he did well in the actual spar, too. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get his Class C license, which is good. Joe, on the other hand, because of how he conducted himself, be in for a rude awakening here. I guess it's possible, one of those commissioners could maybe put their thumb on the scale and, he gets his license, but he's totally not deserving of it right now. The good news is you can take the test over again. It happens sometimes. Guys just don't do well their first time out and just actually study, you know, come better prepared for the spar, and then they get their license. Joe got really beat up by Itagaki in their spar. He basically relied on his durability to get him through that, because otherwise he had basically nothing for the guy. He was getting pieced up. He was defending and attacking well, mixing everything together nicely. Joe is too much either one or the other, and Joe was just relying on his durability in the end there, just literally taking the hits so eventually an opening would come that Joe could, smash one through, hurt the guy, and just wail on him till, the referee pulled him off. But that didn't even happen. He just cracked him so hard multiple times that, he ran outside the ring just to get away from Joe. If he had stopped there, I would say, maybe there's a chance he could have actually passed this thing. But no, he chased him outside the ring, cracked him in the back of the head, and then, kept wailing on him until Nishi and a ref pulled him off eventually. And it was just like, man, it was just like bloodlust at that point. Joe, saw red and just kept attacking. And yeah, that's one of the things they're trying to guard against. They're trying to establish, a basic rule set and understanding among anyone seeking a license that, hey, you have to conduct yourself a certain way. You have to be able to defend yourself, keep yourself safe in a fight. And Joe is just not concerned with that type of thinking. So, yeah, right now, I'd be very surprised if he somehow managed to get his license. He's totally not deserving of it. He should absolutely fail the test. And if it were anybody else, I would be thinking, ban at this point, just outright ban. But, it's Joe, and he sort of finds a way to get away with things, and I think there's a chance maybe there's going to be some workaround, but as things are now, he should fail the test and have to take it over again. So that's what I think is going to happen, but, could be wrong, could be surprised. But yeah, I'm very eager to get to this one so we can find out. But before we begin, as always, remember to blank, blank, and blank. Still very much a small channel, so every like, comment, share, subscribe that we can get really helps out. Really appreciate it. Patreon link down below. I'm really trying to push the Patreon this year, so if you could sign up even as a free member, I'd really appreciate it. With that, let's get right to it. Sando bagni kya mega ake tatake 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 ashite wa kiito nani ka aru ashite wa Spread your wings, pro boxer.
27とジョーの26番が26番がなくたって27番があんなに燦然と輝いてるじゃん。
Yeah, that's what I thought. Nishi passed, but Joe didn't. Just take the test again. It's fine.
気違いだ。待ちやめろ。ロープダウンだ。この野郎。やめろ。
Honestly, the way things played out, he's lucky he didn't get a permanent boxing ban.
矢吹君、残念ながらプロテストは不合格だったそうだね。今の心境一言。バカ野郎。何が今の心境だい。こんなところ写真撮りやがって。
Oh shit.
ちんまりと合格するような男ならさして恐怖も感じない。テストなどという枠からはみ出してしまう八方破れなところに戦慄を感じるんです。
I like it.
今度は奴もマイペースで合格するでしょ
Yeah, he'll do fine next time.
う。もう目と鼻の先に迫ってきているんですよ、彼は。
Yeah, Rikishi's not underestimating Joe at all. Now Joe is gonna crack the shit out of anybody he gets in the ring with.
嬉しいやろおっちゃん。一度は閣下して失敗した B 級ライセンスを今度はマイペースでがっちり掴み取りましたんや。
So I guess we got a time skip of about a month. I guess Nishi might get his fight first, since he passed his test earlier than Joe again.
おめでとうジョアにとうとうプロテスト合格したんだってね。ジョーおめでとうよ。おかえり、お先に一杯やらせてもらってます。やれやれ、この町の連中はなんだかんだと理由をつけちゃどんちゃか騒ぎをやりたがるんだから。
Seems that way.
新聞記者さんがこの橋のたもとへ車数台で乗りつけて
Oh my god. Oh shit. They've got like war banners up in celebration of what Joe's about to accomplish.
今までこのドヤへ涙橋を泣きながら渡ってくるやつはいても希望に燃えて逆に渡ったやつは一人もいなかったんですね。今やみんなの喜びなんだ。ドヤ街にくすぶってるみんなの象徴みてえなもんですな。
そういうこと。ドヤを上げて応援するぞ。そうだそうだ。責任重大だぜ。
Yeah.
そんな風に言われると。
He takes that seriously more than anything else.
あ、おっちゃんよ。早く俺に試合させろよ。もううずうずしてるんだよ。
野郎出てきたぜ。プロボクサーとして今度は正々堂々とな。
ほら、力士、ほら、アンパー行けほら。アンパーだ。力士、早くも一方的です。吉田は足が止まった。吉田はグロッキー。クリンチに逃れました。ダッシュほら。右が入った。力士強引に叩き壊すようなハンマーパンチの嵐。吉田ダウン。ヤッホー。力士のやつますます腕を上げやがってよ。今や押しも押されもしねえメインイベントボクサーだ。ランキング入りすりゃチャンピオンへの挑戦権にもすぐ手が届くし、そいつを踏み台にして東洋や世界のチャンピオンもたちまち目と鼻の先ってわけだ。そこへ行くと俺たちは二人ともプロボクサーなんて名前ばっかりで。
You got your debut match to focus on. If that guy Wolf doesn't arrange something first. All right.
いつだい？来月の21日後楽園ホール。ヤッホー！俺はウルフと力士でやれてんだい。のぼせるんじゃねえ。リングの上ではウルフはやはりウルフ。牙も爪もある恐ろしい狼よ。何がおっかねえもんかい。あんな犬かろ。ロードワークに行くのがいかねえのか。
Yeah.
言うことは気をないたぶっ殺しやがる。
Start taking it serious.
おめでとう。二人とも試合が決まったんですって？
へえ、やけに耳が早いじゃんか。
お前さん方にはこのドヤに住むみんなの期待や夢がどっかとかかっているんだからね。
Putting a lot of pressure on the guy.
私応援するわ。
そらまあ頑張るよ。いや、村瀬だろうがね、誰だろうが任せてくって。
キャンペーさんに。
お、帽子じゃないか。
これは西君とジョー君に。
へえ、俺たちにもかい。
Oh, cool. I like those trunks.
あれ、西の旦那はどうしたんだい？
恥ずかしがって出てこねえよ。
They're a little too small.
西は試合までにそのトランクスがぴったりになるようにウェイトを調整しなくちゃならねえ。ほっ、手を、ぐら、ゆった。ともかく軌道に乗せることができたんだ。ドヤ街の片隅のちっぽけなジムで汗まみれ、泥まみれになって育ってきた二人の若いボクサーをやっと華やかなリングに登らせることができたんだ。
Ashitaを目指して立ち上がる。立て、立て、立て、立つんだジョー。Okay, took some time just to gather my thoughts. Episode 31, really good episode. So things start off, like I said, Joe fails his test, Nishi passes. But also, like I said, you can always just take it again. So 30 days after that, we get a little time skip, and Joe takes his test again. This time does, aces it easy because he knows exactly what to expect, and, he's not nervous this time because he's just ready for it. Rikishi said something very interesting about Joe, passing his test not on the first try. He's not so much worried about someone that would pass a test outright as much as he is worried about someone that the test would outright reject. I thought that was a really cool way of Rikishi giving us his thought process there. Joe has always been something that does it his own way. Him coming back and, passing the protest with ease is very concerning to Rikishi. As he put it, Joe is catching up to him. We saw that Rikishi had another fight, pretty much flawless victory from him. He just keeps getting better and better over time. He's pretty much now a ranked fighter, which means eventually, not too long before he's challenging for the title. Once he has that in Japan, he can start challenging for, OPBF, Pacific Rim regional titles, and then eventually world titles. So, he's well on his way. And Joe and Nishi feel, a little bit left behind. They still need their debut matches. Dangpei announced to them that they finally have that. They're going to be training for that. Should be next episode. One of the reasons I want to get to next episode, right away. But it was very interesting how Slumtown has really attached itself to Joe and Nishi and Dangpei too, saying that Nishi, Joe, and Dangpei's success is, their success. Finally, they have someone that they can root for and really, get behind in a real way. Putting a lot of pressure on Joe especially, and I can tell it's kind of getting to him a little bit, but he's putting up a good front for right now. But it's this weird kind of double-edged sword where having a good support structure means a lot to a boxer and just a fighter in general. But also, that's a ton of pressure to put on someone, and if they're not used to it, it could also, potentially break them. It's interesting, the grocery store manager, forget his name, but he's the one that's really gung-ho about it. And, he's putting the most pressure on Joe specifically. I think Joe might even have a crush on his daughter, Noroko, or, just a friend, and she's been so nice to him that, he's reciprocated. It's actually a really cool moment because she makes Nishi and Joe trunks. Joe's look great on him. I love the little J on the trunks. It looks so cool. Nishi's, he's so big that she couldn't make them big enough to actually fit him appropriately. And then Dangpei said, well, Nishi needs to lose weight anyway, so yeah. He's a really big dude, and if he's having to cut weight to make heavyweight, that's, a lot. But yeah, we should get the debut match of both guys. Next episode, going to be really cool, and honestly, I want to get right to that right now. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.